Welcome to your Health and Safety Induction. The purpose of this awareness training is to help highlight the key responsibilities that you have as a site user and also to outline some of the significant health and safety risks that you may encounter whilst on site. Thinking about your own health and safety and that of others must be a priority whilst you're visiting or working on our site. As a new employee, contractor or visitor, we want to provide you with an overview of the main health and safety arrangements that are in place to ensure that you can carry out your work or visit without coming to harm. We all have a role to play in looking after both ourselves and other site users whilst in the workplace environment. Let's take a look at some of the common activities that you need to be aware of when visiting the premises. Upon entering or accessing the site by vehicle, it should be noted that reverse parking is encouraged. This is to reduce the risk of collisions with other vehicles, plant, and of course, pedestrians. It's important that you stay aware of this traffic at all times. Ensure to communicate with both drivers and banksmen, and also wear high-vis clothing in the designated areas. Use pedestrian walkways whenever possible, and keep an eye out for safety signage across the site. Control measures are in place to manage and mitigate the risk of harm to operators and others who may be affected by the activities. All work carried out on site must be covered by a suitable and sufficient risk assessment and method statement, otherwise known as RAMS, or equivalent. All contractors are required to provide signed copies of task-specific RAMS prior to commencing work. Everyone has a responsibility to ensure that health and safety guidance and procedures are followed during the course of your work or visit to our site. Site users should be aware of trailing cables and stored materials, uneven surfaces and level changes. Stick to designated walkways where possible and always use appropriate footwear for the environment. Everyone can make a contribution to reducing slips and trips on site. Keep your own work area tidy, and if you see a risk, sort it or report it to someone who can. Manual handling relates to the use of bodily force when moving materials or interacting with machinery. Manual handling should be minimised as far as practicable. Mechanical aids or lifting equipment should be used to move materials where possible. Working at height is one of the main causes of serious and fatal injury across industry, and it comes in many different forms. This includes roof work, use of mobile elevated working platforms, scaffolds, ladders, and rope access. If you are carrying out work at height, you must have applied suitable controls that prevent, restrict, or mitigate the impact of falls. Operations involving lifting equipment must be properly planned by a competent person, appropriately supervised, and carried out in a safe manner. Cranes and lifting accessories such as slings must be of adequate strength, tested, and subject to regular examination and inspection. All crane operators and those operating lifting equipment, as well as people involved in slinging loads and directing lifting operations, must be trained and competent. Electrical equipment must be safe and properly maintained. Only in exceptional circumstances should work be carried out on live systems, and then it should only be done by a qualified and authorised person. Whether you're working on electrical systems within buildings, working close to overhead power lines, or excavating near underground cables, safe systems of work must be employed to ensure that potential risks from electrical power are surveyed, identified and avoided, or adequately controlled. If you would like to highlight a possible health or safety hazard that you identify on site, or you're unsure about something related to either the health and safety of yourself or others, please report the issue immediately to your line manager, your induction host, or the on-site health and safety representative. Thank you for paying attention to this brief health and safety induction. Let's work together to build a safe and successful future.